There was a time in the 90s when I was a kid where, you know, my favorite show in the world was Keenan and Kel. Like, it was, and to this day, it's, I don't really watch it because of the nostalgia just kind of kills me, but it's still you know, a good sitcom for, I think, they could get a laugh out of, kids and adults, and it was a fun show. And the movie, the TV movie, two heads are better than none. Like I thought that was such a classic Nickelodeon moment. Like whenever it would come on, I would be so excited. Like, yes, like it was. There was a time when that was really nostalgic, and I think we kind of forgot about it, and I'd like to. I'm probably going to revisit it this Halloween with my baby niece because I think maybe she'd probably get a laugh out of it too. Um, but I bring that up. This show. This isn't really about Kenan and Kel, but it's about Coolio. Coolio passed away, and I just found out. Um, and the truth be told, I didn't really listen to a whole lot of his albums, and I'm probably going to now. I definitely want to actually go back and see because his legacy has lasted. He's definitely still one of the more respected names in rap and culture. Period. Like everyone knows. Seems like everybody has a memory of when Coolio, first time you heard his music, you know, to the point to where one of the most, if not the most popular rap song of all time is Gangsta's Paradise, that everybody's heard it. And it's definitely one that, you know, one of my favorite ones because it's such a great song. Like the lyrics in it are dark, poignant, self-reflective, brutal, hopeless, you know, and his voice was the voice that Coolio had was so, you know, the way it's like a narration, like a deep voice narration, power and the money and the power, men and that, like it commands attention, and but the reason why I started the video off talking about Kenan and Kel is because he was that show's intro, was had Coolio, singing the song, and it was the first time I laid eyes on the man. It was the first time it was really probably the earliest example of rap that I ever heard. Like when I was a little kid, I was like, oh dude, like the intro to the song is really, really, really awesome, you know, and to me, I think it was excuse me, when your career has become a household name for even kids like me when I in the 90s, then you've really done something positive, you know. And I think Coolio's legacy really is on that level to where he's a household name. I think everyone knows who Coolio is, and whether or not they've heard his music is to be seen. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like the popularity kind of got bigger than the art that was originally at play. So his passing kind of affects me in two ways. One, as a fan of his as an adult, like as I get older, the lyrics to, the one song is I know Gangster's Paradise, become truer. Like I get that now. And, just like, on my knees in the night saying prayer in the street lights, just like there's so much to take away from that, when you've been, you know, in those shoes. But then there's also the childhood aspect. I'm 29 and I'm starting to see, you know, nostalgia become more and more of a kind of a poison. And the reason it's poisonous is because a lot of the things from my childhood are getting older, um, and dying. Like remnants of my childhood are starting to, pass away, and Coolio's definitely one of those. Um, and I wanted to do this video to sort of talk about that and how I feel about it, but at the same time to show, more importantly, to show respect to the man and what he managed to accomplish. And I think what he did was truly, you know, remarkable. He became a household name. And there's a lyric that always stuck out to me, like, out of all the terrific, I mean, amazing lines that are in Gangsta's Paradise. Like, there's a reason why it's one of the most popular and great songs of all times, because it's just, you know, perfect. It is perfectly written. So many just legendary lines from that I can quote. But probably my favorite one that stuck with me. The reason it's my favorite is because it stuck with me for the years. Like, I always wondered what he meant by that. I'm 23 now. Will I live to see 24? The way things are going, I don't know. That one always stuck out to me. And then when I turned 23, I understood it. It's like, wow. This is like, you know, the way a 23-year-old, young man, and then young women too, like anybody, a 23-year-old person could, you know, they always kind of get to a point where it's like, holy shit, it's kind of unspoken. It's a dark feeling. It's a very dark, scary feeling, I could die at any time. Maybe it's because a friend died. Maybe it's somebody you knew. Maybe it's the fact that you had a near-death experience. And I did. I did have a near-death experience. And there was a time when I was really, like, scared, about that. It sort of, it's one of those life-changing moments, but at the same time, it's a wisdom. You're not invincible. Youth does not guarantee, life. And that's just my interpretation of it. You can interpret that in possibly the way he might have felt when he wrote that line, just the hopelessness of that, the, where he was at in his life. You know, 59 is better than, 23. And I'm glad he made it that far. I'm glad he managed to get out of you know, the life that he was, that was that much dread. And not only did he do that, but he also impacted a lot of people's lives, including mine. I will probably always revisit Gangsta's Paradise, and I'm definitely going to start listening to his other albums too. Like, and I feel bad that it took his passing for me to actually, like, well, I need to revisit this. Just I'd rather listen to somebody while they're still kicking than, you know, just and then find out they're dead and it's like, well, maybe I should, check out the rest of this stuff. Because if the guy who wrote literally one of the absolute best rap songs of all time, if he did that, then surely he's got to have, you know, other great songs too. 23 now, but will I live to see 24? He lived to see 59. And that ain't nothing but a blessing. Rest in peace, Coolio.